Hi guys, it's me Charmise and I'm here to do a Wednesday Wisdom with you all. Since I wasn't able to post last week, this video is going to be a little bit longer, but I'm super excited to talk today. Yesterday I met with some counselors via Zoom from Texas and we were talking about some of the issues that they have with students. And one of the counselors mentioned that she has a hard time getting her students to apply for what I call the low-hanging fruit, which is the smaller scholarships. You know, those $250 to $500 scholarships. And for a young child to not want to apply for a scholarship because they know that their parent might have the money, or they assume that their parent can afford, $500 out and outright, it really got me thinking about some of the things that I feel that students and parents need to do in order to really put your mind in a more planning mode. So one of the things that I always encourage is having the hard conversation about money. I think having that conversation senior year is a little late. I would imagine that it could change the whole trajectory of how that student plans is if they knew exactly where their parents' finances might be. I think it's a hard conversation. I think it's an awkward conversation, but it's a boost of reality that a student might need. Have you ever seen some of those kids that actually come into school hungry and really want to get the money? I think they have a greater sense of what's going on within their family. For me, I definitely assumed that my mom had a college fund for my sister and myself, but I was wrong. And I wish that I had that conversation a lot earlier. It might have changed how ambitious I was with applying for scholarships and really doing some of that college planning, which includes the financial piece. So I would definitely encourage having a conversation with your parents, having a conversation with your children about money, about what you have and what you don't have, because that is essential in planning. So have that hard conversation as soon as possible. For me, in my head, my son is only 2.5. He thinks that money grows on trees. He goes into stores just picking up everything because he knows that mom has it. I would love to have that conversation with him going into his 9th grade year. There are scholarships for 9th graders, 10th graders, 11th graders, and especially those seniors. But if you know where your finances are and you know what needs to be done a lot sooner, I would imagine that it would make that planning better. It would make them do the searches for those scholarships. It would make them feel more prone to find those resources because they know exactly what's going on within their family. I feel like the college planning should be a joint effort. So have that hard conversation if you need to. Another thing that I want to suggest in the midst of that hard conversation is let's talk numbers. I know as an adult, I give you an example. Yesterday, my husband and I were looking for lumber, and the guy is just talking about how it's made and all that. Sir, what's the number? I want to hear a number. I want to see it. So I know exactly what I need to do. So in the midst of college planning, I would encourage you to find one of those engines that allows you to calculate, the 4 years of a program or even 6 years of a program. Present that hard number to your child. You look at that hard number and see what kind of work it takes to get that money. I think it's so easy to apply for a loan and get that money, but essentially, you're signing up for X amount years of debt. So if you can avoid that by applying for scholarships really early on, you put yourself in a better place. I still owe a lot of money on my loans from undergrad and graduate school, and that's the reason why I'm trying to talk as much as I can about scholarships, because I'm back in school and I'm trying to do things differently, not only for myself but for my family. This experience has helped me to be a lot more resourceful in my planning and in my communication, and I want to relearn these things, and that way I can help my son. So have that hard talk, have that conversation, crunch some numbers, and I believe these two things will help with college planning. It's really important that you do it sooner than later. I was talking to the young ladies yesterday, and one of the things that I said was the 12th grade is like the 11th hour. That should not be the start of your college planning. It should start a lot sooner. And before you can do anything, you really need to have that conversation because college costs money. And I think a lot of kids assume different things about family finances. And if you could be a lot more transparent, I think that would put them in a place to where they would want to apply for scholarships, whether it's the low-hanging fruit or it's those $10,000, $100,000 scholarships. having a transparent conversation about finances could change everything. So I want to encourage that sooner than later. Best of luck with everything. I hope that you enjoyed this talk, and I'll see you guys next week.